Peace, 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 and divine rising. To those who are joining me for the recording that this will soon become, thank you for tuning in for Tea Time Spirituality, live spiritual talk. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about demons, what they actually are, how to keep them out of our lives. Oh, hey, sis, you're in Hawaii? How awesome! That sounds so awesome. It's nice seeing you in Chicago. So, before we get started, my light is broken, and it broke during the last Mercury retrograde, and I was supposed to get a new one. But I was out of town, so I didn't. And I'm not getting a new one during this Mercury retrograde. I'm just not going to do it to myself. I've done that too many times. So, before we dive into today's discussion, I want to read my little quotes, my little wisdom of that are written on the tea bags. I'm drinking yogi tea. I drink yogi tea pretty much every day. The ginger tea. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's yogi tea, but I like yogi tea because they have like the little quotes on the tea bags. But I definitely drink a ginger tea every day to wake up my digestive system, to help with any inflammation in my body so I can have pure circulation throughout my system. So it's really just about the ginger tea, but I get the Yogi brand because I like the little quotes. But before I even share the quote from the tea bag for today, I have two quotes for today because I'm drinking actually drinking three different teas, but one of the tea bags doesn't have a quote. But in my last live, someone commented on my teacup, and they said it was not a teacup, that in fact it was a beer mug. And I found that really funny. I don't drink beer at all. I just drink out of really big tea mugs because I like to have a large cup of tea. So to the fella who was out there calling on my teacup, calling it a beer mug, this is a teacup. I mean, it's big. I can't say that this is a beer mug. You probably think it is a beer mug. An astrological beer mug. I got two of these cups. The Scorpio one broke. This is my son's cup. He's an Aries. But this is any cup that I drink out of, any mug that I drink out of, it's going to be for tea. I don't drink coffee because it's inflammatory. And I don't drink beer because it's inflammatory and it's really bad for the system. Peace and greetings, Sakina. Thanks so much for joining me. We're about to dive into today's topic. I like to give a little bit of time for people who, for the people who are just now, who haven't joined. I like to give people time to kind of join in and see that we've gone live. So nevertheless, the topic or the quote on the tea bag from the Yogi tea says, "Let things come to you." And how I interpret that, let things come to you, is to just to be peace. And I'm going to take it a little bit further. We are in a 12,000 year procession of the sign of Cancer, and it's a feminine energy. And feminine energy is more of a magnetizing type of an energy. So it's all about drawing things into the self rather than forcefully going out there, going after things. So in this time, we should be peace, and we should work on our internal self, our internal world, and let things draw into us and come to us rather than trying to always forcefully go after things. And that was a really special one for me today because a bit ago I was thinking about like different moves that I want to make, and it was kind of brewing up a little bit of anxiety in me. And I'm like, I definitely like to make my moves. I definitely am a go-getter. You know, I got a lot of Aries in my chart, but I don't want to want to go out there and go after certain things, because I know that when we're chasing things, things run from us. So I do want to be in that stillness more than anything. And when I saw this quote, it just reaffirmed that for me. So the other one says, from a small seed a mighty trunk may grow. And I just take this as, just putting in small actions every day. Big things can come from that. And when you think about the actual quote, a small seed, a mighty trunk will grow. Yeah, like you could plant a very small seed and it will grow into a big, gigantic tree, and this mighty trunk is there based off of this tiny little seed. So, but I think that we should plant small seeds every day and be consistent with taking care of those seeds, and then we'll see our lives unfold thereafter based off of that. Peace and greetings. Thanks so much for joining. So, you guys, as you guys can see, today's topic in the title of today's video is what demons actually are. So a lot of people have demons in their life, and even I'm going to talk about it in two different perspectives, from two different perspectives, I should say. Spiritual demons, like, say, for instance, you're sleeping in the bed at night and you have like this energy. It feels like it's, attacking you, or something feels like it's sitting on your chest, or, it just feels like there are eerie forces around you, you know. The same way you can feel like divine energy around you, like blissful, peaceful, or angelic presence around you, you could feel dark, heavy energy around you. And the dark, heavy energy is kind of telling you that you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing, or you're neglecting something, or it's also a reflection of you kind of succumbing to your ego. And our ego is our small self, it's our identity self, it's the part of ourselves that separates us from everybody. And when we subscribe too much to the ego, we break our auric field, our protective auric field around us, that lower vibrational frequencies can come in. And that's really what demons are. They're lower vibrational frequencies at the end of the day. And our ego is our lower selves, or our small self. It's important and it's necessary. But when we are subscribing too much to the ego, we break our angelic auric field, and we allow for other lower dimensional entities and energies to take some type of a space in our lives. Okay, now these things are not to be afraid of. You have dominance and you have control over yourself and over your life and over those energies. You can clear out your space, light sage, palo santos, frankincense, and myrrh, or what have you, to get rid of any of that energy. But you got to understand that energy is not just, it's not there just because it's haunting you and you don't have any control. It's there because something in you is not complete, something in you is not whole, and it's because you are allowing it in your space. So you have a lot more control over darker forces than you actually think that you do. Peace and greetings. Thanks so much for joining. So that's one aspect of demons or demonic energy and forces, or what have you. And now I know that there are families that feel like they have demonic forces from generational curses and things. And that is true. People can have like family curses, but the same way that people have hereditary diseases in their families, and that statement is a bit redundant, but whatever. The same way people have hereditary diseases, it's not because they're born with this issue and it's just here. It normally stems from habits, especially poor eating habits. So if you have poor eating habits, you're going to have these hereditary diseases like diabetes, high blood pressures, congestive heart failure, and things like this that may have, and cancer, things that run in your family if you are maintaining the lifestyle of your family. The same thing when it comes to generational curses and family demons and curses. If you are maintaining the same toxic behavior, the same toxic spiritual behavior, and the same karmatic lessons of the rest of your family, then you are going to maintain those darker entities and forces around you in your life. But if you are challenging yourself to mature and grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, those entities, those forces are not going to be able to even be in your atmosphere. It's all about raising your vibration when it comes to dealing with darker spiritual forces, and also you don't want to get caught up in paying attention to them in dealing with fear, because that's just going to keep them around you in your life. They feed off of fear, and they feed off of your ego, and they feed off of negative vibrational frequencies. So if you seethe in anger and rage and or lust, or all of these kinds of lower vibrational feelings, entities and energies, you're going to keep demonic forces around you. Okay, but that's not really why I am here today, or what I really want to talk about when it comes to demons so much, as far as like the negative outside entities. Demons are poor habits that you maintain in your life. And you can, I mean, I guess it is still the same thing and it relates, but you can eliminate demons by recognizing them as the lower characteristic traits that they are within your life, in knowing what your issues are, what your triggers are. Like, and I did a video on this before called Demons. And I was talking about my demons. I have two main demons in my life, and they are the demons of lust and the demon of superficiality. So I have to make sure I keep these demons in check by not feeding them, not feeding into lust, or not feeding into vanity. And that's what it is. Vanity, superficiality, same thing, right? So how I do that is I check myself with every situation. Like, even when I get on social media, I of course we all want to be beautiful, but I don't get too caught up in my appearance. Like today, I'm not wearing any makeup besides a little bit of a tint on my lips. Oftentimes my pictures, I'm not wearing makeup, and it's because I know that one of my demons is vanity. And if I get caught up in wearing makeup or overly photoshopping my images, it's going to feed more into my issue of vanity, where I'm going to, in vanity leads you to insecurities, and it could just lead you down this whole road of that lifestyle. So, and I did a video called The Universe Works, or yeah, the universe works like the internet. Whatever you subscribe to is just going to give you more suggestions on that way of life. So if I subscribe to my demon of vanity by overly photoshopping my images and putting on makeup and making sure I'm super picture perfect, and I have a necklace and I have earrings and I'm, my perfect camera and everything is angled correct, that will drive my nervous system through the roof. And I already have Chiron and Gemini, so I don't need that. But it will even, that's on one level, right? But say I just kept on subscribing to my demon of vanity, then I will be in competition with other people, trying to get the best makeup, spending all my money on makeup. Then I will end up, I'm 32, and I'll start freaking out that I'm getting older. So then I'll be at a cosmetic surgery facility trying to, keep up my appearance, spending all of my money, and I will never really get my work done because it will all be superficial. You guys, I wouldn't be able to connect with people from a heart space or from a center of truth and authenticity, because vanity leads to superficiality, and I will be superficial, which is being fake, you know? So I know what my demons are personally, and I check them at the gate, you know? And that's what everybody could do in their own life, and just be honest with yourself. A lot of people run from themselves. Like, people deal with the demon of rage, but they deny it, you know, and then they deal with a small situation that they shouldn't have even gotten upset about, and they blow up, and they are erratic, and they end up in jail by doing something crazy, you know. So everybody needs to pay attention to what their own lower vibrational frequencies are. That's what demons are. They're lower vibrational frequencies, and we all have them. You know, we all have our triggers, because life itself is about evolving and growing. So what are we evolving from? We're evolving from low vibrational frequencies and tendencies and characteristics and traits, you know? So then what would those be? Those would be demonic forces, demonic forces. You know, even when it comes to, like, say, spiritual demons, like a haunted house or something, like demons in a haunted house, right? Those demons are there because of some low vibrational frequency they could not let go of. Either anger, lust, you know, vanity, rage. I mean, the ego, trying to hold on to this physical body and life, and they can't let it go, so they are haunting the house. You know what I'm saying? That would be attachment. So yeah, like, so if we think about it from that instance, from a scary movie sense or a haunted house sense, at the end of the day, those demons are simply low vibrational frequencies in characters that those beings would not let go of. So, how could you yourself, when you ascend past this realm, how could you actually ascend and not, you know, stay dormant here on earth trying to hold on to this existence and reality? And how could you ascend to higher states of existence? It's to move past your lower vibrational frequencies, your demonic forces. So, also the demon of lust, okay? And I'm speaking about these two demons in particular because they're mine, and because I understand them. Certain demons I don't understand as much because they're not something that I battle with. But my demons have been very intense battles for me. You know, when I was 24, I found myself in a plastic surgeon's office trying to get plastic surgery. I wanted to get a tummy tuck, and then the doctors were like, "Oh, we're going to take the fat from your stomach and we'll put it in your butt and give you a Brazilian butt lift." And that wasn't my initial reason for going into the doctor's office, but I was with it, with my you know, because I was tuned into superficiality, my demon of vanity, that other entities were able to subscribe something to me that was linked to that low vibrational energy, that I was on board. I paid a deposit and everything. Luckily, my higher auric field stepped in, and when I went to do my pre-op, the doctors were like, "You know what? We don't really feel right about this. I'm sorry, I can't do this." And they actually did not do the work. Both of the doctors were like, "I just don't feel right." I'm like, "How you don't feel right when you got a woman in the office with size F titties about to get size P, but you can't just, you know, take this little fat from having these babies out of my tummy and put it into my sides, my booty." Like, it didn't make sense to me. But luckily, I have a stronger, you know, angelic auric field than my demons. I mean, that was the time where it just kind of like trumped and stepped in on its own, you know. Yeah, it was really deep. So and definitely, you guys ask me certain questions or make certain comments, because I will look at your comments and you know, give you a shout out and look at your comments, and you know, answer questions and things like that toward the end, which I'm almost done wrapping up. But subscribing to the demon of lust. Say you're in a relationship for 10 years and you are getting tired of your partner, you know, getting the same old dick every day. is the same size that it was last week. Same stroke patterns. um, same cologne, same person. And you start to feel like, I want something new. Oh, look at Buddy over here. He looking like this, whatever. And fall victim to that. Like, we've been together for 10 years. It's not that big of a deal. You get a massage by this handsome demon or whatever, and you want to exchange with this person. Say you don't exchange with that person right away, but you keep going back and you keep going back. Now you're like literally tempting yourself over and over and over again. Okay? And say that you actually engage with this person sexually, you're intimate with penetration. Now, and I'm speaking from a female, aspect. I am a woman, but, men deal with this as well. And now your partner doesn't know that you cheated, but you know that you cheated. You're going to build up so much negative energy in you, dealing with the lack of trust. Now you're not going to trust your partner. You're going to accuse them of things because of what you did. You're going to, start to just do so many other deceptive things, or project or deflect your own your own trust issues and lustful desires onto other people. But then if you keep down this path, lust is gonna lead you to all the negative vibrations of lust. So then you will end up, what happens at the end of the day? You get caught. You end up having to get a divorce. You end up dealing with karma from that relationship, that you end up with issues with other relationships. You deal with betrayal in other areas of your life. You can end up catching a sexually transmitted disease. I mean, so many things. Just, you are subscribed to the energy of lust, so you are going to get the repercussions of the lower vibrational frequencies of lust. And that's like, if you're tuned into a certain radio station, you're tuned into 95.5 country radio, and you mad that they're not playing hip hop, you are insane and out of your mind. How could you expect for the country radio station to be playing hip hop if you turned on the country radio station? So if you want to unsubscribe to that, you need to keep that in check, and you need to not feed these demons by falling into your temptations of these demons. And the more that you subscribe to your higher way of living in life, then you will get suggestions of living a higher vibrational way of life. I mean, I started on my spiritual journey. I mean, I've been spiritual, I've been conscious since I was a little girl, but I deliberately started living more consciously and more spiritually after my spiritual awakening in 2011. And when I started to subscribe to my higher self, I was then given the vision to do Return of the Gods. I was then given, the idea to, I was given the idea to change my diet, then the idea to do Return of the Gods, then to just become a full-time astrologer, then given, the way to leave my job and live a life of freedom. And then, my spirit just kept giving me more ideas that will allow me to live a life of joy, peace, freedom, and bliss. The universe works very similar to the internet. So this is how you could keep this is how you could keep the demonic. I still can't say it. Oh my gosh, Mercury opposite the moon and is opposite my Mercury. Oh God. Anyways, this is how you could keep demonic forces out of your life and move past demon energies, okay? And this is what demons actually are. They are lower vibrational frequencies and entities and habits that we hold on to, that we don't let go of. That's all that they are. And the more that we can recognize what our demons are and not subscribe to them, unsubscribe to them, and start subscribing to our higher selves, they will fleet away. But it does get to a point where you are able to engage and interact with your demons from a higher space. So I'm going to share. This is open tea time spirituality. We gonna get real. Okay. And this is how spirit works. Like, if you guys know about the anything about the north node in astrology, the north and south node, if you develop the high qualities and characteristics of your north node, you naturally reap the benefits and the rewards of your south node. Okay, so when you are walking in the direction of your higher self, you naturally get the benefits and the rewards of your lower self. So I'm going to give the example with my demons. With me not subscribing to the demon of superficiality and vanity, I am focused on other things and building a stronger sense of self-worth from within. Naturally, that's a beautiful vibration that I radiate beauty on the outside, just naturally, effortlessly, without even trying. You know, I tend to look better without makeup than with makeup, because sometimes when I wear makeup, my pores look really big and then I get lines under my eyes and I look a lot older. So that's me reaping the benefits of the rewards. And then also I eat a certain type of a diet that allows me to look a lot healthier or what have you. And don't judge me right now. I look busted, but that's a whole nother story. This Mercury retrograde tripped me up today. Now, but I'm not even tripping about my appearance, and I don't think about it as much as I used to. And the things that we aren't tripping about or we're not concerned about, we just naturally, reap the benefits and the rewards of that, because we're not putting up any resistance against it. You know, anything that you chase runs from you. So if I was chasing beauty, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses and keep up this appearance, my beauty would run from me. But since I'm not tripping off of beauty, I'm focused on other things. I could just naturally radiate beauty. When it comes to lust, you know, since I am not focused on lust, I'm not over here thinking about what, when I'm going to have sex or who I'm going to be humping on or all of these kinds of things. I get to have a happy, harmonious relationship. And me and my partner, we don't have to have sex every single day, but I can be focused on my work, on, my spiritual development, my businesses, all of these things. And I'm so up in the upper chakras that when I get a chance to engage, I'm just like, it's that much more sensational for me. So then I'm not even needing to get pleasure from other men and seek out other things in my life, because I get full fulfillment since I'm not super subscribing to my lustful desires. And when I get a chance to enjoy it, since that is one of my demons, and your demons would be a strong vibrational frequency, I get a chance to enjoy it that much more and be very wild. Because I'm not being wild with everybody, you know what I'm saying, and just giving my energy to everybody, where I'm selling myself short or thinning my energy out. So now I have full concentrated energy, sexual energy, for that one partner that I can unleash all that energy on, and making the experience that much more amazing and blissful and just healing, magical, and transformative, because it's more focused energy now. It's not all over the place. Okay? So I'm going to look at different comments if I can. Let me see. Oh, okay, cool. This is my first time doing it from my phone. Oh, thank you. You said, yeah, I don't need makeup at all. You look beautiful, not busted. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, people keep trying to get me away from veganism, talking about how our ancestors ate meat, but we are evolving into higher selves, no longer just in survival mindset. Absolutely. We need to stop eating meat. And just because our ancestors ate meat, we don't need to do everything our ancestors did. Our ancestors did a whole lot of weird stuff that we need not to do. That's the whole point of evolving, like you stated, and the thing about it, Earth itself is going through massive changes, and we need to evolve with the Earth. The Earth is in this state of preservation, healing, and all of that. And killing her beings, in which are animals, is not aligned with the energy of healing. And then it doesn't sit well in our systems. Our bodies don't break them down properly. We don't have certain enzymes to process the food. And then even when it comes to eating meat, getting the protein, you get more protein. Your body extracts more protein from fruits and vegetables, and nuts and seeds than it actually does from meat. You're getting more fat and other things out of meat. Okay, synchronicity is real. Was wondering the same exact thing. I'd like to ask your perspective on something. What do you want to ask my perspective on, Rose? Type your comment. What do you think about eating meat? Okay, I just read that. Yep, they feed on fear. Our demons feed on fear. Absolutely. And I like that you stated that our demon energy feed on fear is very true, because when it comes to vanity, you know, if you're stuck in if you have a demon of vanity, you're going to freak out from getting older, because naturally in the world that we live in, being older is not deemed as beautiful as youth. So you're going to be fighting against that. And understand, vanity really deals with how other people view you more than anything. So when you are tapped into the demon of vanity, you're going to always be trying to keep up with the current beauty trends, butt implants, lip injections, or whatever it may be. And then a lot of these women in the world have fallen victim to the demon of vanity, and they got all these butt implants and stuff. But Pluto is in Capricorn, and it's about to go into Aquarius, where Aquarius is going to be more appealing to have a more slender body, or to have more of an androgynous type of a body. So then what are they going to do then? Then they're going to be trying to take their asses out, take the breast implants out, and that costs a lot of money, and it could put you in the alignment to deal with so many health complications and even death. So it's not important. It's really, we need to move past vanity. Okay, peace, queen. Usually I dream about I usually have dreams about with my grandma. It's always in another era, guessing hers. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely have dreams of being in other dimensions. I tend to go into other dimensions myself. And yeah, your grandma is maybe delivering you a message, or just showing you that her life is fine, even though she may not be in this realm or this dimension. So it is very possible to have dreams about other dimensions. And oftentimes our dreams are simply our minds still thinking while we're asleep, and it's playing out visually. Our thoughts are playing out visually. So Monday I had another. This one, though, Monday I got from one. I woke up and was literally blank. Okay. That can happen. I'm not really certain what your actual question is. With that. But nevertheless, you guys, I wanted to share this when it comes to demons, and what they actually are. They're nothing to be afraid of. If you feel like there's a demonic force around you or in your home, definitely get your Palo Santos, get your sage, pray to your higher self to keep you in alignment, in divine alignment with your truth. Recognize what your own lower vibrational frequencies are, and do the work to heal past them. If you have a hard time getting past certain demonic energies and frequencies, reach out to someone. You can reach out to myself. I do work with people getting their minds right and things like that. And that's a major thing when it comes to demonic forces. If you are really subscribing to your demons and to your lower vibrational frequencies, you will end up crazy eventually. You'll end up losing your mind. That's what your demons have plan for you. It may not happen when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, but eventually at some point you will lose your mind. You know, I mean, being tuned into lower vibrational frequencies means that you're tuned into the energy of fear, and fear is ruled by Pisces, which also rules delusions and hallucinations, and just overall being ignorant and crazy and insane. And that is the lower qualities of Pisces. Pisces is one of the most beautiful signs of the zodiac, but it does rule those things. So if you're subscribed to fear, at the end of the day, fear will have you lose your mind. So, thank you guys for joining me. This has been real. Should we have readings every month or every so often? I highly suggest getting readings as much as you can, as often as you can, because getting readings, astrology is becoming the new religion of our age, because Aquarius rules astrology and we're in the age of Aquarius. Yet and nevertheless, when we go to spiritual centers, we're getting spiritually fed. But astrology allows you to spiritually feed your own spirit directly. So it's not just, don't just get astrology readings from an astrologer. Study astrology on your own. Study your own chart. Read up on different transits, read up on yourself, and, get to know yourself fully, because the more that you know yourself, the more that you could become in divine alignment. And astrology is the story of the heavens' influence upon the earth, and it will show you the qualities and characteristics that you need to stay in alignment with higher forces and the things that are challenging you in your life, so that you can make certain changes. First timer, why does I'm flooded with these orbs all around me? First timer. First timer. Okay, why I think you meant, why am I flooded with these orbs all around me? The orbs tend to be higher spiritual energies. So they may be delivering you a message, they may be surrounding you, they may be helping you build your auric field, you know. They may be giving you divine suggestions on a direction to go in your life, like they could have been leading you to come and watch this live video. I enjoyed this live stream, sis. Thanks so much for spreading your knowledge. Many blessings and peace, family. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. I will be on next Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time, which is 12:30 p.m. CST time, Central Standard Time, and 1:30 on the Eastern Time. I don't know if I'm going to keep these lives at the same time. This is where I'm at right now. I just got my tarot cards today, and I will be the first person that I read. Indeed, this is new for me. Awesome. Always be the best person that you can be at any one moment. It is who you are that is most important. You are a representative of the divine. Absolutely. And that's one of my favorite topics that we're going to talk about, is how we are in individual expressions of source energy. And absolutely understand that life is about evolution, and every moment you are getting an opportunity to evolve, with different encounters, so thank you, James Breeden, for this comment, divine comment. But yeah, absolutely. Always, every encounter you have with another person or something in your life, always take the highest road, and you will continue to get suggestions from the universe and your higher self of how to live a more free, abundant, beautiful, blissful existence. All right, you guys, I'm checking out. Peace and divine light.